There is something you do when no one is watching. You probably don't even realize you do it. And for decades, psychologists couldn't explain why only certain minds were drawn to it. But now, research suggests that this one quiet behavior, the thing you do in total solitude, may be one of the most reliable markers of an IQ above 130. Most videos about high intelligence will tell you the same recycled signs. You enjoy reading. You stay up late. You were a curious child. And sure, maybe those things correlate loosely, but they're broad, they're obvious, and frankly, they describe half the population. What researchers accidentally stumbled upon is far more specific. It's not about what you consume or when you sleep. It's about what your mind does when there is absolutely nothing demanding its attention. No phone, no people, no task, just you, sitting in silence. And the behavior is this: you argue with yourself. Not out of anxiety, not out of disorder, but out of a deep, almost compulsive need to stress test your own thinking. You take a belief you hold, and you flip it. You become your own opponent. You poke holes in your own logic, not because you're insecure, but because something in you refuses to hold an idea that hasn't survived a fight. Psychologists call this spontaneous dialectical thinking, and it turns out it's remarkably rare. 1. Your default mode isn't rest, it's reconstruction. Most people, when left alone with no stimulation, either reach for their phone or let their mind wander passively. Daydreams, memories, grocery lists. But a small subset of people do something counterintuitive. Their brain shifts into active deconstruction mode. They replay a conversation from 3 days ago, not to relive it, but to find the flaw in their own argument. Their resting state isn't rest, it's renovation. And neuroscience shows this pattern is strongly linked to heightened activity in the prefrontal cortex, the region most associated with abstract reasoning and fluid intelligence. 2. You experience what's called productive discomfort. Here's what makes this behavior unusual. It doesn't feel good. Deliberately challenging your own beliefs creates a low-level cognitive tension. Most people avoid this instinctively. The brain is designed to protect its existing models, not attack them. But individuals with exceptionally high IQs report something strange. They find this discomfort satisfying, not pleasurable, satisfying. The way a surgeon finds a difficult operation satisfying. It's effort that feels like purpose. 3. You don't need an opponent to have a debate. Average thinkers need someone to disagree with them before they'll reconsider a position. High IQ individuals generate the disagreement internally. They can hold two contradictory ideas simultaneously and genuinely argue both sides without emotional attachment to either. Psychologist Mikhail Csikszentmihalyi noted that this capacity for internal dialectic was one of the most consistent traits among the exceptionally gifted individuals he studied over 3 decades. 4. You confuse changing your mind with thinking clearly. Most people view changing their mind as a loss. It feels like admitting a mistake. But if you do this behavior naturally, you've probably noticed something. Changing your position doesn't feel like defeat to you. It feels like sharpening. You walk into a room believing one thing, argue against yourself for 20 minutes in silence, and walk out with a refined version that's harder to break. You don't see it as flip-flopping. You see it as upgrading. 5. Solitude doesn't drain you. It organizes you. This is the part most people misunderstand. High IQ individuals don't necessarily prefer being alone, but they need solitude the way an architect needs a drafting table. It's where the structural work happens. Without it, their thoughts stay scattered. With it, everything clicks into a framework. The solitude isn't social avoidance. It's cognitive infrastructure. 6. You've been doing this since childhood without a name for it. Many people with this trait assumed everyone's mind worked this way. They didn't know the behavior was unusual until someone looked at them strangely for saying, "I actually convinced myself I was wrong about that last night." If that sentence feels completely normal to you, that itself is the signal. Intelligence isn't always loud. It doesn't always show up in grades or job titles or how quickly you solve a puzzle. Sometimes it hides in the quietest version of you, the one sitting alone, dismantling their own certainty, not because they're lost, but because they refuse to stop building. If your mind has always worked this way, now you know. It wasn't overthinking. It was your intelligence, doing exactly what it was designed to do. If this describes something you've never heard anyone put into words before, consider subscribing. This channel is for minds that don't stop working, even when the world goes quiet.